odds are you sell your house faster if you tell more people about it. That's what this machine does. Like any agent, I find buyers locally, but I can also send a picture and description of your house to buyers in any one of our 4,000 offices. It's like a national multi-list, and only ERA has this system. Think about the odds and then call us. We can find more buyers. That's another reason your ERA real estate specialist is the person you need to know in real estate.
This Bud's for all the people who make the sidelines a part of the show.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Down there is Miami Beach, a vacation mecca for millions.
I'm Ed Newman of the Miami Dolphins, and I want to show you a part of Miami Beach people seldom see. This is it, South Miami Beach. It's not much to look at, but it's home to Fanny Pressman. She's 82 years old now, and she lives here all alone. Over 18 million people live on a small fixed income, and it's not easy, I can tell you. She still gets a big kick out of life, though, thanks to some nice people from the Jewish Senior Center. This is an agency supported by United Way and run by United Way volunteers. Every morning they pick her up and take her to her friends. She plays cards, gossips, sings, has a grand old time. My grandmother used to say that if you give love, it'll come back to you. And that's a philosophy I agree with.
Well, that's the kind of philosophy I live with, son.
United Way works here in Miami. Thanks to you, it works for all of us. United Way.
Back at Rich Stadium in Buffalo, we're at the half on the strength of a Nick Mickemeyer field goal from 40 yards out late in the second quarter. The Buffalo Bills lead their old nemesis, the Miami Dolphins, by a score of 3-0. Bob Costas along with Mike Hafner. In a way, Buffalo, I guess, has to be happy. They've had so much difficulty handling this Miami club that a lead of any kind has to be a pleasant surprise. On the other hand, it could be much more.
Oh, it could be much, much more for Buffalo, but I think the encouraging thing is, Bob, that there hasn't been any defense in Buffalo for the last 6 or 7 years since O.J. was here, and to hold the Miami Dolphin club to no points in the first half has got to be very encouraging.
We're going to break away here for just a moment and be back and give you a rundown on some scores of other games. NFL'80 halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
On Disney, Daring Do with Mickey Mouse and his pals, Mickey's Greatest Adventures. Then on Chips, can Ponch and John learn the real cause of Bonnie's accident? Then it's television's Night on the Town, when all your favorite primetime stars shine their brightest. Don't miss the 1980 Emmy Awards right after Disney and Chips Sunday.
Hey, Anderson, I hear you're contacting your smaller customers once a week.
That's right.
That doesn't sound very profitable. I mean, your entire sales force spending all that time on so little business?
Not our entire sales force, just one guy.
One guy?
Sure, young Baker here.
Oh, yeah, those little accounts add up to big money when you handle them by long distance.
Looks like you could use a little long distance yourself.
Long distance. It's the way to get things done today.
This is week number 1 of the NFL season. We'll try to get you all caught up. The big game of the day happening at Three Rivers Stadium, a matchup between the Houston Oilers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that noise you may have heard up in Buffalo may well be the Houston bubble bursting. It has not been the kind of day Kenny Stabler expected, not been the kind of day the Houston Oilers expected. Pittsburgh out in front 17-0, and Steeler fans could be excused if they're already making their reservations for New Orleans in January. The Steelers have been that impressive. Terry Bradshaw has definitely gotten his act together in Pittsburgh at the head of an attack that has been simply awesome today. Early on, he hit Sidney Thornton, first score of the game. Pittsburgh was the first team to score this year, the last team to score last season. Thornton having himself a good afternoon. This run set up a second touchdown by Franco Harris. That one made it 14-0. Franco, by the end of the day, will be the third leading rusher all-time in NFL history, trailing just Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson. When he can't get it on the ground, Terry Bradshaw goes up top. John Stallworth has been John Stallworth all day. That one, just there with Lynn Swann, set up another field goal to make it 17-0. On the other hand, Kenny Stabler has had his problems. 5 for 19 for just 22 yards, 4 interceptions with still some time left in the half. It has not been a good day for the Snake or the Houston Oilers. Again, 17-0, time running out in the second quarter. In New England, Cleveland Browns have yet to get on the board. The Patriots rolling it up there, 13-0, a pair of John Smith field goals of 35 and 37 yards, and a Steve Grogan 10-yard touchdown strike to Harold Jackson. That was for Jackson, his 500th career reception. Ball game you're watching, Buffalo against Miami. Of course, is Buffalo out in front 3-0. Nick Mickemeyer doing all the damage with a 40-yard field goal. Buffalo hoping to stop a 20-game losing streak at the expense of the Dolphins. Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. This one going on in Cincinnati. The Buccaneers trying to prove that they're for real. Cincinnati trying to prove that last season was a fluke. The game right now is tied at 3-3 in the second period. Pair of field goals, Garo Yepremian and Ian Sutter. The Giants and St. Louis, two teams who figure to be among the also-rans in the NFC East, are going at it. This is in the second quarter. Ball game right now tied at 14-all. A 10-yard touchdown by Wayne Morris has tied that ball game. Pittsburgh, as we noted, out in front of Houston, 17-0 in the second quarter. Let us go to Three Rivers Live and join Dick Enberg and Merlin
During
Olsen.
this day has been nullified by a penalty, and every possible bounce of the ball has gone against them. I guess maybe Bum Phillips would tell you they're testing us. They're seeing if we can handle all this adversity.
Yeah, in a way, you look at this first half, Merlin, and 17-0 seems rather light in regard to the dominance of the Steelers. They could be ahead by almost twice that much.
Well, I think the statistics will show that it has not been any kind of a ball game statistically, and of course the score,
offense, still third down.
the score by virtue of penetration field position could well have been worse than it is.
Leon Gray ticketed with a hold, 3 times an All-Pro and All-Pro last year. Let's see that juggle by Blunt. He's got the interception. Whoops, bobbled it right to Carpenter, but it doesn't count. Pump and then over the middle to Carpenter. He almost threw it in the arms of 51 Lawrence Hayes. Well, that's an appropriate way for the final scrimmage play for the Oilers. They've been doing it the entire half. You know they've got to hang on to more the second half. And if Stabler can get out of this first 30 minutes down by only 17, who knows? But it has been all Pittsburgh.
Dick Enberg said it properly. It has been all Pittsburgh. Bad day for the Snake in Houston. Minnesota out in front of Atlanta in the second period. That one standing at 14-6. Kramer has thrown a touchdown pass to Sammy White. New Orleans against San Francisco, who figure to be among the, at least San Francisco figures to be among the also-rans of the NFC West. Tied at 7-7. Tony Galbraith, a 1-yard run for a touchdown. Rookie Earl Cooper, a 2-yard run for San Francisco. And Green Bay out in front of Chicago in the second period, 6-3. Still to come later today right here on NBC. Don't forget it's a doubleheader week. Colts will be going against the Jets. The Broncos taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia. Raiders and Chiefs renew acquaintances. And out on the coast, it'll be the Chargers and the Seahawks. You're all caught up. Let's go back to Rich Stadium. Bob Costas and Mike Hafner.